We've arrived near Deep Space K-13, Captain. This is odd. I'm not picking up any comm traffic. No signals, nothing at all, from K-13 or the other ships in system. Sensors aren't detecting enemy vessels or warp signatures. No signs of combat either. This is peculiar. I'm not sure what to make of it. Captain, the other ships are raising shields and charging weapons.
Warning, ship is under attack.
All ships disabled, Captain. Captain, those were the Starfleet ships assigned to patrol this sector. I don't think that was a war game or training sim. Their weapons were at full power.
Stay away! They're taking control! Don't come near us! They'll take you too! This station came from the station!
Message from Starfleet Command, Captain. We're to investigate the situation immediately. No signs of combat on board the station, Captain. No hostile life form readings either. Everything's quiet. Sensors are picking up a number of life signs over there, but I'm not reading any unusual activity. All of the station systems seem to be functioning normally. Think we should beam over and have a look around? I don't like this. No one's at their duty stations. Not even the transporter operator. Station's not on alert. What's happening? Tricorder's picking up a life sign nearby. Looks like they're in sickbay just across the hall. blast points on the wall are from phaser fire. There was a fight here. But with whom? No sign of Klingon or Romulan weapon fire. Just Federation.
The lights have all been dimmed, but it looks like sickbay's still operational. Over to the right.
Someone was expecting a fight. Against whom or what? I have no idea. Captain, I think I saw motion in that room to the left.
Stop where you are and turn about slowly. I need to determine if you are infected. Neural parasites. A life form last encountered by the crew of the Enterprise at Deneva Colony. Those possessed by the creatures tend to engage in hostilities with the uninfected, the better to render them fit for infestation. Met, and while you have not engaged in hostilities thus far, I have seen infected employ false passivity in order to lure unwary prey. A tricorder scan of your adrenaline levels should verify your status. Scans show a slightly elevated level of adrenaline, though nowhere near that of an infected life form. Thank you for your patience. One can never be too cautious where these parasites are concerned. They are a life form that propagates by infiltrating the nervous system of a host creature. Through this neural link, they can compel their host to obey their bidding. They can also inflict extreme pain upon the host at will, and do so to discourage attempts at resistance. While effective, this punishment can lead to permanent neurological damage or death. At this time, most of the station personnel have become infected. While there is a possibility of uninfected survivors, I must warn that it is remote. According to Starfleet data files, the parasites can be safely destroyed by exposure to high-intensity ultraviolet light. My attempts at reconfiguring the station's lighting thus far have been unsuccessful. I am a physician, not a habitat engineer. As a precaution, I have developed a serum that can render a person toxic to the creatures. However, medical supplies here are limited. I have enough serum to inoculate your landing party and one other person.
Now there's a voice I wasn't expecting. I take it you heard my distress call then. Well, in case you haven't noticed, the station's been overrun by neural parasites. The wee devils are back with a vengeance. I'm afraid not. I'm in the auxiliary control room, down on the engineering deck. The place is filthy with parasites, so you'll understand if I don't go out for a wee jaunt.
I have secured a small amount of security gear. It may give you another edge against the parasites.
Equip your bridge officers by select.
If we pass through the mess hall, we can access a turbo lift to reach engineering. Whenever you are ready. these crew members. They're all infected by the parasites. Be careful.
The creatures continue to be resistant to tricorder scans, sir. It may be fascinating. I'm detecting an unusually high level of tachyons nearby. Based on these readings, it is possible that a temporal event has occurred on this station within the last 4.2 hours. The auxiliary control station is down the hall to our right. I'm reading a single human life form within the room. The biosigns match those of Commander Scott in the Starfleet Medical Database.
Hi there. It's good to see a friendly face. There you are. I was beginning to get a bit concerned. Thought you might have been taken by those little beasties. I'll just lock the door so none of them can get in while we discuss our next course of action. Now that you're here, we've some work to do. The way I see it, we need to get to main engineering and turn on the station's ultraviolet lighting. That'll sort the nasty buggers out properly.
While I cannot attest to the ability of UV light to sort Denivan parasites, it will initiate a complete molecular breakdown within all parasites exposed to it.
Aye, she's a Vulcan, all right. I was trying to override the lighting controls from here. It looks like someone sabotaged several duotronic relays. We have to repair them if we're going to have any chance of saving the station. Before we go, grab yourself a kit from the crate there. It might come in handy. We'd better get a move on. The parasites aren't ones to loiter about.
Equip a kit to gain new ground combat abilities.
Aye, this is one of the broken relays, right here. That one was easy. Just a few more to go. Alright, there are several ways through the engineering section here. Keep in mind that the parasites tend to stay in dark corners. If you want to avoid them, do your best to stay in the lit areas. Remember, the parasites like the dark. Wee devils that they are. I'll have this fixed up straight away. That takes care of that. No trouble at all. This one just needs new fuses. There we are. Good as new.
Viking damage detected.
Now this may be a bit tricky. Just a wee bit longer. There we are now. It looks like someone has overridden the command codes. You best get to the command center and see what you can do from there. I'll stay here, barricade the door, and keep trying to get those UV lights going.
Down.
Look, who are those soldiers? They're definitely not Starfleet.
The parasites, they're dying. All of them!
Salvage what you can and send a squad to kill the Federation vermin!
We need to talk. Actually, the name's Daniels. This may be a little difficult to absorb, but recent events may make it more plausible. I'm actually from the future. I can't tell you how far. Just that it's a future worth protecting. That's why I'm here now. The aliens we're fighting are called the Nakul, and they're waging a temporal Cold War with us. They're trying to change the timeline here in order to disrupt the future. Understand that I follow a temporal version of the Prime Directive. There's only so much I can reveal to you. Trust that we're doing the right thing here. I can't tell you how far, just that it's a future worth protecting. Time's a factor. We need to stop the Nakul from obtaining the neural parasites. The Nakul ship that brought these invaders is now fighting the USS Ptolemy. Someone must have sent a distress call. Unfortunately, Ptolemy is no match for the Nakul. Neither is your ship, at least not alone. We should eliminate the parasites on the ships you fought earlier. Those crews will help you once their minds are their own again. It's risky, but it's our best shot here.
We can return to the ship on your orders. The Ptolemy is holding the Nakul off while we rescue the other ships, but they won't last long. K-13 is hailing us, Captain.
I'm transferring command codes to you now. Use them to remotely access the computer on those disabled ships and emit an ultraviolet flash inside.
This is Captain Seralt of the Ptolemy. We have engaged the enemy ship, but we are outmatched. Please restore those ships and join the fight quickly.
That did it, Captain. Looks like everyone's coming around. The parasites are gone.
This is Captain Doherty of the USS Myrmidon. What happened? What's going on? Parasites? What? Okay, sorry. We're right behind you, Captain. Lead the way.
Fine work, Captain. You sent those devils back to wherever they came from. Aye, we do have a wee problem, however. The burst I sent, when combined with the power source, created a feedback pulse. The feedback is creating some kind of spatial anomaly, which is beginning to pull the station in. We need to evacuate, immediately. Scott here. The portal's collapsing. We're in for a right bumpy ride. Everyone's aboard. Get us clear before that portal blows. There she goes. I don't think anyone's ever seen a station do that.
Captain, before K-13 was pulled into the vortex, I picked up a few distress signals from inside the station.
Perhaps not. After all, it was a temporal vortex. They may well survive. In another time. Well then, it's been quite a day, hasn't it? Neural parasites, time-traveling raiders. Why, things will seem almost normal once I'm back on the Enterprise. Speaking of, I'm sure the ships here can give me a lift back to her now that they're parasite-free. If Starfleet Command gives you any grief on this, remind them that lives are more valuable than equipment. And you saved a lot of lives today.
I apologize for springing all of this on you at the last minute, and I'll explain more as soon as I can. For now, I can tell you that history is unfolding as it should, and that was not the end of K-13. You're building a fine tradition of making the right decisions in crisis situations. In the meantime, don't talk to anyone about the Nakul or their time travel. We can't risk any further corruption of the timeline.
System scans clear, Captain. Looks like everything's getting back to normal. We can leave the system on your orders.
Let me get this straight. K-13, an entire space station, just disappeared into some type of spatial anomaly? And I thought some of Kirk's after-action reports were a little out there. Starfleet Command won't be pleased with the loss of K-13, or the people that were still on board. But they'll be happy to hear about the lives you did save. Good work out there. Keep it up. Stay safe.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
We have a problem at Babel. Caridian rebels have taken several Federation trade officials hostage. They're threatening to kill them unless the UFP withdraws from the Corridan sector. I'd like you to work with the negotiation team and try to resolve this peacefully.
Captain, I need to speak with you in my quarters. I think it's time for that explanation I owe you. There's more to this mission than you realize, Captain. Something's not right. I'll explain shortly.
You are now in sector space.
All right. I appreciate your patience. I'm what's known as a temporal agent. It's my job to preserve the timeline. You helped me stop one temporal incursion at K-13. There's been another at Babel, and I could use your help with it. Welcome to the Temporal Ready Room. I use it to monitor the timeline. The Nakul have sent agents to a critical point in time. We believe they disrupted the Babel conference in 2268 aboard the USS Enterprise. I want to send you back there to stop them. You'll be sent back to a point shortly before the conference begins. I'm sending one of our best temporal agents along. I believe you've met.
Nice to see you again. It's been some time. For me, at least. For you, I see hardly any time has passed at all. It must be strange to see me looking, older.
Once you're on Enterprise, deal with the Nakul and make sure the conference proceeds as planned. You'll have a temporal transponder, which will allow me to communicate with you and bring you back. You'll also have these bioscanners. They're short range, but will detect Nakul agents nicely.
Do the job right, and no one will know we were there.
The situation at Babel shouldn't be happening. Something in the past has changed, and not for the better.
Let's begin by using Enterprise's sensors to look for signs of our time-traveling friends. The computer won't have any details on the Nakul, so you'll need to recalibrate the sensors manually on the bridge. Oh, and one more item to be aware of. Ensign Pavel Chekhov is currently on duty on the bridge, which is why I will be remaining here out of sight. As much as I would like to visit the bridge again, two of me in the same place would raise questions neither of us wants to answer. Let's get to work. I will check with you again after you are done on the bridge. I haven't worn this uniform for some time. It's a little... snug. Nice work. I'm getting some readings from Deck 11, but I can't pinpoint them. Some sort of interference. We'll need to get close and scan by hand. Start with the mess hall. There are a lot of people coming and going there.
Vulcan, I would speak to you.
It does seem unavoidable.
How do you vote on the Corridon emission?
Sensors are showing that one of the delegates is leaving the lounge. Follow him. He might be trying to slip out before you can get a scan.
Is there something I can help you with? Oh, should I be concerned? It was my understanding that the transporter filters out biohazards. Of course. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way.
Looks like they're on the move. Though I'm still getting a lot of false readings on the sensors. Let's keep checking the deck. Like the old Russian saying goes, 2 heads are better than 1. Being here takes me back. It was quite a different time for Starfleet. Head back toward the reception. There he is. Wait, that's Ambassador Gav. One down and likely more to go. There's nothing we can do for Ambassador Gav, unfortunately. Memory serves, Captain Kirk was attacked next, on Deck 5. The captain's wound is serious. He'll bleed out if we don't help him. Stabilize him, quickly. Dr. McCoy will be here shortly to finish the job. Good. It looks like the captain is stabilized. We need to move. I've detected Nakul technology in engineering.
Someone set a bomb in here. I cannot defuse and keep the mains online at the same time. Wait, Chekhov, is that you? You look older than me, laddie. And you, the last time I saw you was on the Rosanna station. Something was dodgy then, and it's more than a wee bit dodgy now.
It's complicated, Scotty. We've been sent back in time to keep the Enterprise from being destroyed. Aliens are trying to alter the future of the Federation. There's no time to explain. You have to trust us, old friend. We're here to help.
All right, lad. You can start by helping me keep this ship from blowing to pieces. And get rid of that bloody bomb, if you can. Divert power to the number 4 shield. Good work. Now check on that bomb. Auxiliary power to engines. Good work. Now check on that bomb. Repair teams to deck 5. Not that one. Repair teams to deck 19. Good work. Now check on that bomb. The captain's ordering me to cut the power? I see what he's about. That got him.
We can't disarm this bomb, but we need to get to that Orion ship anyway. We can take it with us.
Why not just beam it into space?
We can't let that ship be captured. It has dangerous technology on it. Scotty, I need you to trust me. That ship needs to be destroyed. You can't tell anyone what happened here. It could damage the timeline irreparably. Besides, I'm captain now, so I technically outrank you.
All right, lad. I'll take you at your word. Once you're ready, I'll send you and that bomb over. Good luck to you. Energizing. Now, what's this?
The Orions will lock down their ship. We need to override their security systems.
Push X to aim your weapon. Aiming your weapon will give you a 33% bonus to damage. Use the B key to toggle between shooter mode and RPG mode. Use C to crouch. Crouching gives a 50% defensive bonus against range attacks, but increases damage from melee attacks.
I'm going to try to attach the bomb to the Orion ship's engine controls. I'll need you to cover me. See if you can hold them at the doorway so they can't shoot me in the back. The bomb is in place. Not much time left. We need to get out of here before we go down with the ship.
That was close. I'm glad I got you out of there in time. You're both valuable agents. Of course, no one will know what you've done today, with the exception of Commander Scott. That being said, this won't be the strangest thing he'll see in his career. Not by a long shot. Indeed. Comes with the job, I'm afraid. In the meantime, I can send you and Captain Chekhov back to your respective timelines when you're ready.
That was quite an adventure. I think you have the makings of a fine temporal agent, my friend. As good as it was to see Enterprise again, I have other duties to attend to. We're preparing for a very serious event, the Battle of Procyon 5. That conflict will determine the... Ah, but you don't need to worry about that now. Enjoy your time on the frontier of yesteryear, a time that will never come again.
A lot could have gone wrong today. We could have lost critical figures in history. Sarek of Vulcan, James Kirk, and the crew of the Enterprise. The list is long. However, the timeline was preserved, thanks to you and Captain Chekhov. The Babel Conference proceeds as planned, and Corridan is admitted to the Federation. Well done. I'll continue to monitor the timeline for incursions. I hope I can count on you again when the time comes for action.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
Things are heating up with the Tholians. Monitor stations are detecting large fleet movements toward Federation space, and they're refusing all of our diplomatic hails. We're doing all we can to prevent a war, but it's not looking good. I want you to join a task force I'm assembling. If this goes south, I want my best people on the front line when it does. Stay safe out there.
The Federation shouldn't be having significant issues with the Tholians at this point in time. I've been scanning the timeline and I think I've found the problem. 2 years ago, a Tholian colonial fleet was destroyed. The Tholians blamed the Federation, and increasing hostilities have ultimately led us here. This is something I'll need your help to correct. I've pinpointed the incident in question, setting temporal transponder back 2 years. We need to correct the timeline during the Defiance encounter with the Tholians. We've arrived in 2268, and not a moment too soon. The Nakul are clearly out for blood. Tholians are quite xenophobic. They may feel the Federation is part of the problem here. We're being hailed by the Defiant. I'll remind you that our orders forbid us from telling them anything specific about the situation. I recommend deflecting their questions until the situation here is resolved.
Good to see you. We're in a real tight spot here. The Tholians were taking a serious beating when we reached the system, and the other ships opened fire on us the minute we dropped out of warp. Mind lending us a hand until we figure out what's going on?
This was a Tholian colony fleet.
See if you can take a little pressure off. We need to firm up our shields.
Alert. Warp. Core breach imminent. Attempt.
The aliens have disabled the Tholian flagship. She's in trouble.
Sir, if the Nakul kill the Queen, an entire Tholian bloodline will be wiped out.
Ship integrity compromised.
Enemy boarding parties are beaming to the Tholian flagship.
Destroy the aliens. Defend the Queen.
Estimated Tholian casualties are in the thousands.
Vengeance for the children.
Don't suppose you have any idea what's going on here? There's nothing on these aliens in our computers or why they'd attack the Tholians, or us for that matter. All right, do what you need to do. We'll talk about all of this when the shooting stops. Deal?
I know it doesn't feel great keeping information from the Defiant's crew, but believe me, it's for the best. I'll monitor the situation here while you assist the Tholians. Do what you can to save them. Good luck. I've found appropriate transport coordinates on the Tholian flagship. Hopefully you can convince them that we're not at fault here. If the Tholians go to war with the Federation now, it would be devastating on a galactic scale.
Sensors show the interior of the Tholian ship is too hot for us. You will need to put on an EV suit before going there.
I'm reading multiple Nakul hostiles, sir. They're all over the ship.
Reading only a few Tholian life signs. Detecting numerous Nakul life signs, and more of the Nakul reinforcements are on their way to your position. Stay alert. On the flagship just spiked. Something's wrong. I know the
triggered this ship's self-destruct sequence. We've got to shut that down, and fast! The Nakul have triggered this ship's self-destruct sequence.
Stop this ship from detonating, but they're not cool. They've killed Tholian colonists and even hatchlings ruthlessly. What they've done here is an atrocity.
last remaining Tholians are close to your position, and more Nakul are on their way. I'd hurry if I were you.
Humanoid command. Why did you kill your kind? This is irrational. Explain. Federation, Nakul. All humanoids are the same. Chaotic, irrational, peaceful, then not. Warring, then you leave. Those you call Nakul kill our people. Our children, all are dead. Our sisters must know. Leave now, Federation. Leave us to our final task. You cannot help us. Too late. The hatchlings slaughtered. The colonists lost. Nothing can help in the face of this terror. We must send our message. Others will come. Leave now.
We've got enemy ships on an intercept course, including a dreadnought. We won't last long against a force like that.
Continue to fight, Nakul. Keep them from us while we contact our sisters. If you speak truly, you will not betray us.
We better get back to the ship before that Nakul dreadnought comes into range.
I've been monitoring the Tholian Queen's progress. She hasn't been able to send the signal to her people. Orders?
Okay, let's have a little chat. What's the situation here? Where did those alien ships come from? I'd like some straight answers for a change. And I don't need to know, right? I read you, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. That big alien ship is still heading our way. Let's focus on that. Here they come. concentrating fire on the Tholian flagship.
Federation, you have proven you are different, rational. This pleases us. We have sent word to our sisters. The Nakul will pay. The Federation will not. Now, vengeance for the slaughter of a generation. Vengeance for our children.
The Queen's message has been sent through subspace and... Yes! The timeline is correcting itself. Good work. Now, we just need to help with... Oh no. The Queen is going to full impulse. She's gonna ram the Nakul Dreadnought!
Our engines are still down! We can't escape!
Captain, look at the Defiant. Perhaps a scan would be in order?
Scanning. I can't tell if there are life signs over there or not. Defiant appears to be phasing in and out of local space-time. The interaction of Nakul chronal energies with the proto-nebula has made this area of space very unstable and prone to rifts into other dimensions. We might be able to get a lock onto their crew with the computer's assistance and perform an emergency beam-out, but we'll need to act fast.
No. I'm afraid that this is their fate. This is one of the hardest things about being a temporal agent. We can only make the changes we have to make, not the ones we want to make. I'm afraid there's not. History states that the Defiant went missing, only to be found here weeks later by the Enterprise. Though they're lost, we now know that they played an important role in keeping the Federation safe, in protecting the timeline. For what it's worth, I will be sure their heroism is included in my report. The Tholians will remember this as well. This encounter may lead them to be more inward-focused, avoiding conflicts with the Federation. For the time being. At the very least, they will know that it wasn't the Federation that was responsible for the destruction of their colony compound.
All decks have reported in, Captain. We're ready to return to our own time on your order.
Captain Archer had similar concerns when I worked with him. We often disagreed, but in the end, we were able to work past our differences and do the right thing. I hope you and I can do the same. Leaving Defiant to her fate was a hard choice, but it saved untold billions of lives. That has to count for something.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
We have a situation in the Caleb system. The Klingons are massing a battle fleet in that sector, and it's pointed at Federation space. I'm leading a force to respond to this aggression, and I want you to be a part of it. If they cross the line, we need to be ready for anything. Stay safe out there.
This is a pivotal moment in Federation history. The Nakul may attempt to disrupt it somehow, change the course of time. We'll need to look for signs of temporal flux. If they show up, we'll need to deal with them, no matter what.
All hands, this is Admiral Garrett, on board the USS Yorktown. I'm the commanding officer of this task force. Our long-range sensor platforms have detected a Klingon battle fleet massing near this system. At the moment, they're attacking our subspace relay network in order to disrupt communications and long-range surveillance in this sector. We have the Klingons outnumbered at this time. Should they abandon reason and follow a standard attack doctrine, fire to disable their ships if possible. A strong show of force should send them back to their side of the line. All ships, go to yellow alert. Garrett out.
The Admiral is hailing the Klingons on all frequencies. No response. The Klingons are making an attack run on the subspace relays. The Admiral has signaled weapons free.
Klingon formation is breaking. All ships, give chase. Captain. Reminds me of a cloak. Ships decloaking. All ships, this is Garrett. Execute battle plan Sigma 4. Repeat, execute. Concentrate fire on the cruisers. We need to protect them.
mighty Federation has been brought to heel at last by the Klingon Empire. Those who remain shall know mercy in return for your unconditional surrender. We Klingons can be gracious in victory, though should you wish to die in battle with honor, I will gladly oblige you.
I'm picking up a temporal anomaly on one of the Klingon ships. It's consistent with readings we've seen at previous Na'Kul incursions. They're trying to interfere with the timeline again. Leave that to me. I'll modify the transporter and beam you over, past their shields. Once on board, free the ship and neutralize the anomaly if you can. Hurry. We're literally running out of time.
Daniels beamed us into a barracks. I'm not picking up any security alerts. Looks like we got the drop on the Klingons. I brought several photon charges along. If placed tactically, we can use them to disrupt this ship's power grid and take down the tractor beam.
That door to the left leads to an engineering section. Good place to set a charge.
This is the captain. There are intruders in the engineering section. Eliminate them immediately.
So much for the element of surprise. Damn! The door's locked and we don't have their door codes. I think I can bypass it, but it'll take a little time. Science lab over here. Probably the only one on a ship of this size. Another good spot for a bomb. Those charges will do some damage. Now we just have to find the tractor beam controls.
You need to finish them now. All of them. You don't understand how dangerous they are.
I don't need to do anything. Do not forget who is captain here and who is merely a visitor.
I've given you the means to victory. I suggest you use them. Now.
Noted. Though it seems we have other concerns now.
I warned you, Core. Deal with this. Don't fail me.
Well, well. I was hoping for Kirk, but I got you. Pity. So you're the Federation globflies who found their way onto my ship. A bold maneuver, to be sure. Bold or not, you remain insects. A minor nuisance to be exterminated, swiftly and without mercy. And in that way, we are alike, for we both are here to help ourselves. Today, I will take what I want in the Empire's name and use it to utterly defeat the Federation. And the Nakul? Should the time for war come, we will meet them in glorious battle. But for now, our goals align.
Charges are ready to blow. We should get back to the ship and take out the tractor beam. Are you ready?
Nice work. I owe you one.
Well done. Thanks for the help.
Target's shield has failed.
This is Gary. We're outmatched here. Disengage under best possible power. Make for heading 260 5 Mark 10 at best speed.
Run while you can, Starfleet. Won't get far. One Starfleet officer has the courage to die well. Tommy,
You're dead. Your ship was destroyed in combat while protecting the retreat of Admiral Garrett's forces. Your sacrifice allowed Garrett to warn Starfleet about Klingon cloaking tech. But your ship was lost with all hands. At least, that's what's in the history books. I've brought you and the crew members I could save to the early 25th century. You're being recruited as a temporal agent. Since you're dead, we're giving you a new identity. We have a speed training and reacclimation process that will help you to fit in. I know this is a bit unusual, but you'll get used to it.
Welcome, nerds. Space Dock. Busy day on the holodeck, sir? I love dressing up for those historical holo novels, too. My Harry Mudd costume took first prize last year. That being said, you're scheduled for a meeting with the top brass, so you might want to update your uniform beforehand. The Admiral can be a stickler for that sort of detail, after all.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
You're scheduled for a meeting with the top brass, so you might want to update your uniform beforehand. The Admiral can be a stickler for that sort of detail.
Welcome to my shop. That's a fine replica uniform you have there. Mid-23rd century, yes? My compliments to your replicator. Now, if you'd like to update to something from this century, have a look around, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Hello. You can alter your uniform and look here.